All right, guys, welcome back to Real Fan Sports Podcast episode 8. I'm here with my two hosts, Jacksonville Finest. You already know who it is. We got some spooky vibes tonight, apparently. A Halloween episode where we got Astronaut, Jacksonville, Julian.
Yo, it ain't
we got Miami's Finest, Gabe over here. We got a lot to talk about this episode. World Series recap, major moves happening in the NFL, and of course, UFC. Go, y'all.
I don't know why I was the only one that dressed up. JoJo calls me and he's like, "Yo, let's dress up for Halloween." And I'm like, "All right, cool." I got like a bunch of NASA shit, so I was like, "Okay, we're just gonna put it on. Like, let's go. I'm gonna be an astronaut." And then I get on, and these motherfuckers are both in basketball in the finals. Like, they're trying to rematch against each other right now. Okay, Heat versus Lakers.
Honestly, look. That's actually a good point, but I decided to dress up tonight as Goat James, so I am dressed up for Halloween. Goat.
Gabe, you're muted, by the way. Gabe, this man. Gabe, you're muted.
Don't pull your back out. Trying to turn, bro.
I don't think he knows he's muted.
About to hurt you, so.
Oh, my bad.
There you go. I can see the little icon by your thing.
Welcome, Gabe. Welcome to our third episode. Glad you could make it.
I'm glad to be here. So spooky.
Halloween is tomorrow. Or is it tomorrow or is it Saturday?
It's the 30th. I think it's the Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So November 1st is Sunday. November 1st is Sunday. I don't know why.
Yeah, so I think it's Saturday.
Oh, because that's the last day to vote. Early voting lasts until November 1st. That's why I know that. Y'all vote yet? I voted already.
Yes, sir.
Not yet. I'm supposed to go this weekend.
That's my vote.
But you have until Sunday, November 1st.
Yeah, I was going to do last weekend, but I want to think about it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I voted earlier today, so that's why it's on my mind. I don't know why. But you asked about the verdict.
Where's your state?
Anyways, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. All right, so we got a lot of signings, a lot of trades this week. First one that comes to mind, Mr. Antonio Brown getting signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gabe, what's next for Tampa?
You guys got weapons.
I mean, listen, I think that's a pretty crazy signing. Antonio Brown, obviously talented. I don't think he's forgotten football. He had his run a little bit with the Raiders, and he jumped to the Patriots. He played for like a week. I remember his first game when he came back with the Patriots. He had like a big game.
Touchdown. Yep.
He had a couple touchdowns. And then he only played for like a week, right? It was a short time. It wasn't long. So
and he got
I think it's a pretty good sign
down the street from me.
Yeah.
It's like right down the street.
So
it was a Hollywood.
So it makes sense that he'll go to Tampa because that's an easy drive. Like, you can just rent an apartment over there, and then because he lives in South Florida. So I think it's a pretty good signing. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Antonio Brown off the field, but if you want to win football games, I think Antonio Brown can help you. Now, you got to deal with all the headaches and everything. After that, you're going to have to deal with him in the locker room.
Hopefully he's a changed man, and he realized, things he's done.
He found God.
It affects everyone around him, every single person.
I don't think, honestly, what was that?
I was going to say, what do you think about Antonio Brown, Julian?
I was going to say,
players, you're going to help them win?
I don't think he's going to make a difference, honestly. I think, he's not even going to play this week, I don't think, because COVID protocols. I think he has to wait till next week. But even so, I mean, I could possibly see him, stepping in, towards the end of the season, really playing a role. But I think right now, Tampa has a good groove right now with Charles Goodwin, and you got Evans, and then Gronk seems to be back. The running game, I don't think they're going to really mess with that cohesion right now. And I could see him possibly even playing in the slot. I don't see him playing on the outside. I don't think he's going to make a big difference. I think it's going to take, because he hasn't played in almost 2 years. I mean, if you want to count that one game in New England. But I mean, all it does is help Tampa. At the end of the day, it's another weapon for Brady. It's another person to guard on the field. The defense is already stout. I mean, if Antonio Brown can come back and play like Antonio Brown, he's definitely not going to put up the numbers like he was in Pittsburgh, because you got too many other guys on that team. But if he can just you throw him in the slot, I think he can help a lot. But overall, I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. He might get a couple catches at the end of the season, but I don't think it's going to be much.
I mean, I personally feel like there's just someone else, worry about if you're on the defensive end. They make substitutions, everything. You see these backup guys, even if he's a backup, and you got Brown as a backup, you're still going to be on your heels. You still got to play tight defense. So I feel like teams are still going to worry about him. Again, he might not put up the numbers or get the playing time he's used to getting, but if he goes on the field and does what he has to do, gets catches, yards, a couple touchdowns here and there, it can still be a threat.
Man, thinking about that for a second, Mike Evans, Charles Goodwin, Gronk, Ronald Jones, Antonio Brown, and a pretty decent offensive line.
Sounds like a defensive headache to me.
And you got another.
You go to the field, you're stressed out. You're like, yo.
And then if that Howard,
that man.
And the rotation's good because, especially in the tight ends, I mean, they probably got the best tight end room in the game once OJ Howard comes back, and then that Bray guy, he's not playing too bad. Fournette's back. I don't know how much of a difference he's going to make, but I mean, that team's good, and that defense has just gotten better. I'm curious to see what another person does.
Every single game, people try to count Brady out. He's adding more weapons. They try to say he's a system quarterback. Well, like I've said the previous 2 episodes, he's just proven everybody wrong. And now to get this major signing for them, whether he plays a lot or not, it's still, another offensive threat.
I will say, though, I think that I don't know how well Tom Brady would play if he didn't have that team. I mean, that Tampa team is stacked. And I mean, Is it that team or is it Tom Brady? Because I don't know. I mean, their play action game is incredible.
Hey, man. A little bit of both, right? You got these weapons, man. You need a quarterback to deliver. So,
and that's
look at the Patriots now without him.
And that's all Tampa really needed. Like they were an up and coming team. It's just that Jameis threw interceptions. Like you didn't. Jameis would throw the ball everywhere. So, and they needed a quarterback, and luckily, Brady fell into their lap. But I think they were kind of primed to be a good team, and now this is just like another weapon. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Winston got that LASIK now. He's got LASIK. He's good, and they need him a chance.
Is he even starting? Is he even playing?
Yeah, he's playing for. He's a backup for New Orleans. Oh, hey, he might be the future. Drew Brees. Next year, is he gonna be there? Is Winston learning? He got lace. He's got lace.
Before that, Taysom Hill's on the field more at quarterback than
Taysom Hill couldn't even get on the fucking frisbee, bro. Like, let's be real.
But if you look at the league, right now Tampa is 5-2, so they are right now one of the teams in the NFC with 5 wins, and probably the biggest competition is going to be the Saints. Those are 2 really good teams. I mean, they also have Carolina, but I don't think Carolina's going to make it out the division. But they made moves, man. They're trying to get Antonio Brown. They want to stay on top of their division. I think they'll make it out, and they'll be. I think they'll be in the playoffs. I mean, this is a playoff move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, what is New Orleans' record right now? New Orleans is
they're 4. They're one game up on Tampa's 1 game up on the Saints, so they're like 4-3 or 4-2.
3 lost.
But there's I don't know. Yeah, look at me check.
That's gonna be
it's a playoff move. No, that's a Super Bowl move. Listen, he's not trying to waste any more time. He's already past 40. Every year he's back in the NFL. 1 goal, another ring. That's it. So it's the only goal for this guy.
And I think Antonio Brown didn't want to go anywhere else but there, maybe Seattle. I mean, dude was working out with Russell Wilson earlier this offseason.
Shit, they could have used him in Cleveland now that ODJ is out.
OBJ's, yup. Sad. Hey, man, sorry to see this guy out, but healthy recovery, man, for real.
All right. Well, speaking of Brady's old team,
talent there.
New England looks like they might be putting Stephen Gilmore on the trading block. Probably the best corner in the game right now. Makes sense. I don't see why. I could kind of see how Bill Belichick might be calling this season. Like, you know what? It's not worth it. I think
Think this is it?
I think he just wants to. I think New England, they have to rebuild. They just have to clean slate. I think they might get rid of Edelman too. I think you get rid of Edelman, get trades, get picks. I mean, get rid of Stephen Gilmore. You could probably get a first rounder for him. Honestly, I don't see why you couldn't.
Oh, if it weren't for these injuries for Edelman, constant injuries. He's already missed a couple games, some time out. Last season he was injured. Was it last season or the season before? He was injured. But yeah, man, I think Julian's right. They gave it a shot with Cam as quarterback so far. Even he missed a few games during COVID. If Bill might be ready to call it quits and start a rebuild.
Who do you think is going to go after Gilmore? Who's he calling?
That's a good question.
I think he's going to take whatever best offer, but you got to think about maybe people who need secondary help. I don't know.
I think
maybe
Seattle.
Teams that are in a hunt.
I think Seattle, it's a perfect fit. They need it. They just picked up Carlos Dunlap to help up that defensive line, which is another big signing that they did. Like they're making moves. They got Jamal Adams. They got Dunlap. They need to do something because Arizona exposed them. A couple of teams, Cam Newton exposed them. That defense is bad, and they already got I think they could. I don't see why not. Like, go for them. I think them, maybe Kansas City. Why not? I think Kansas City could use secondary help.
For Stephen Gilmore, you're gonna have to give up something. So I don't know what they're gonna give up because right now Seattle's hurt. At running back, I think I heard that DJ Dallas, one of the he's a former UM player, is probably gonna get the start because all their running backs, they're like on their fifth string of running backs. So you shouldn't trade for Stephen Gilmore, but he's a top player, an elite player. League cornerback in the league, and you're gonna give us something. You just can't get him for free, right? This is not like some fantasy trade or something. Like you just give him peanuts for Gilmore. So, whoever needs defensive help, I don't know. I can see him on like Chicago. Chicago has a pretty good defense, but you got to give up a player for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
know what you give up.
I think Seattle. I don't know if this Dunlap trade is going to do much. Obviously it's going to do something, but I think bringing him and Gilmore, I think that instantly makes them a lot better. And I think you got to do it. I think you can pick up a running back on the street. Like you find these running backs that come out of nowhere.
Very true.
But
I know who's going to have a breakout season as well, man. Especially with these running backs.
Maybe the Packers can pick them.
Hit or miss, you know what I mean? Hit or miss.
Yeah. I was like, what's a good team that needs defense help? Like, it's definitely a good team. Like, I don't see him going to a trash team. There's nobody's going to give up whatever it is for him.
Maybe it can be any team, really. I don't really know who's available. It could be the Saints. I figure if I'm going to be traded, especially in the middle of the year, I don't know if he has to get player approval because a lot of times in the contracts you need approval, especially from a top player like that. To be traded, so you have to get like the player's approval. So, or if they can, I don't know the specifics of his contract, but I don't want to go to a freaking winning team. Don't send me to like, I don't know, the Vikings or something, some garbage. Don't send me to Dallas. Don't send me to Dallas.
No, Dallas ain't picking up nobody. Dallas is another one in free agent.
They just the Jags.
Yeah,
it could be the Jags.
No, I don't see any bad team getting rid of picks right now. They need the picks more than anything. I think Cowboys are calling this season too. Look, they just got rid of 2 starters. Got rid of Dontari Poe on the defensive line, and they got rid of that guy, that corner for the league. I've never heard of him. I can't imagine him being any good, especially if he's on Dallas. But Dallas, just get rid of people. Just get younger. I think New England's doing the same thing. You just gotta get rid of people to get picks, get younger. I wouldn't be surprised if Cam Newton doesn't come back. Like, just get rid of some guys. And then you also got Will Fuller from Houston, and there's talks of him possibly going to Green Bay, which I think would be massive for Green Bay.
That would be really good. They really need a lot of help over there. They just got back Devontae Adams, which is probably their best wide receiver. But it seems like he's the only one that really produces for them. Even though they had a breakout game, they had, I forget the other guy's name.
Lazard,
but
he played really well, but he got hurt. He's on IR right now.
Fuller to Green Bay would be a good decision. I think he's a good player, and he will definitely shine with Aaron Rodgers. So that could be a good move. We'll see what happens.
Just especially weapons for these guys, man, because this guy's been balling out, bro. Partner him up with Aaron Rodgers.
Houston should just get rid of everybody, though. That's another team. Just get rid of people, man. Just rebuild. Just like you're gonna hold on to these guys for what? And I think because Green Bay, they got Aaron Jones, who's a stud at running back. I mean, you said you got Devontae Adams. You need that. What's that tight end's name? He's actually been playing pretty well. But no, at Green Bay. I don't remember, but you had Alan Lazard, who came out of nowhere this season until he got hurt. So you need to fill that hole. And then once he comes back, I mean, you're talking about Will Fuller, Devontae Adams, and then the Lazard guy. That's a pretty stacked lineup. And then you got Aaron Jones running the ball. Like, I think they can do really well. I mean, you just need that defense to step up, but I think Aaron Rodgers definitely needs another weapon, 100%. And I think you give up. I mean, when does Green Bay ever trade for anybody or sign anybody big? It's like, just go after them. Why not? You need it. You're going for a playoff run this year. Like, I don't see why you don't. You do whatever you can right now. I think there's a couple teams this year. You do whatever you can. I think Seattle's one of those. I think Green Bay's one of those. Tampa's one of those. New Orleans, just bring guys, do whatever it takes. This is the year. But out of all those, who do you think would be the biggest pickup and the biggest trade, or who already has made the biggest difference out of Antonio Brown, Carlos Dunlap, wherever Stephen Gilmore, the dream situation for Stephen Gilmore, if Will Fuller goes to the Packers?
I think Seattle, because Seattle needs the help, and I think Dunlap is probably going to give the most help. Like we said with Antonio Brown, he's just like one of like other guys that are talented on that team, and he'll. I feel like Antonio Brown's going to disappear into the background. You know what I mean? You might see him pop up in a couple games, but he's not going to be putting up 10 catches, 100 yards, or anything.
That's what exactly I was saying.
Yeah. So and Seattle needs the help. With their they need the help on defense. You know what I mean? Because that helps relieve some of the pressure off of Russell Wilson running the offense. Yeah.
I mean, they're playing great. They're staying in these games because of the offense. But like Julian's been saying, they're getting exposed, man. There's no way you give up that many points to the Cardinals, no matter how tight that game is. That's just way too many. What, 40 something?
Yeah, it was like it's overtime. I mean, that's the third overtime game. Was that New England game overtime game?
Yeah,
Russell Wilson's been keeping them alive. It's honestly weird thinking that the Seattle has a bad defense, because for years they've always been known of having like one of the best defenses in the league. And I think that they have right now.
And that 12th man crowd, crowd, bro, keeps them in. That defense, boy.
Dude, like, yeah, I would have to say that. I think I would have to agree. I think Dunlap is a huge pickup, and I think if they can work out something, which I feel like they could. I don't know what it'd be. If they can do something, they could pick up Stephen Gilmore. That'd be huge. That'd be absolutely massive. Like, I mean, you already got 3 Pro Bowlers on defense right then and there. And then you got to the offense. I think the offense will always keep you in games. Russell Wilson will always keep you in games. And that's just how it is.
I could definitely see that. Let's talk about Cam versus 49ers, bro. We've seen that game.
Wow.
Not a pretty one for New England.
Yeah, the closer the game was.
You know why it wasn't pretty as well? As my starting quarterback was who? Fortunately, Cam Newton. So you bet I was watching that game, bro. Just short stats, guys. He completed 9 of 15 passes and 3 interceptions, guys.
Trash. So 30% of his throws.
Going back downhill. But who's to blame? Is it him, or is it his receivers, or the defense he's playing against? Like, I think is he out of a groove?
They're pretty thin. The Patriots are pretty thin, so that's why they started talking about shopping Gilmore. They need a lot of help, especially now. Julian Edelman's out with the knee surgery. I also have him on my fantasy, so I just had to put somebody on waiver for him. They're pretty thin. Like, they don't have really big names. Maybe Cam Newton is your best player on offense, and if Cam Newton, the Patriots are going to go with Cam Newton. So if Cam Newton's having a good day, the Patriots have a chance to win. And if he sucks, then they have nothing. They're pretty thin. At maybe their next best player is Burkhead, Burkhead, right?
Yeah,
but their running backs are pretty weak because they shuffle. They have like a three man.
They run a 3-back system. Yeah.
With James White and Sony Michel's have been real quiet. I had to drop him on another team. And Edelman is probably their next. Edelman was their best receiver, but now that he's out, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. It's all on Cam Newton,
and he's out again.
Cam Newton is LeBron James on Cleveland before he left for Miami. You know what I mean? He's like the only good player. He's going to take you. If he's doing good, he's doing well, then they're going to be okay.
They're going to need him to run.
You need a kick
or touchdowns, throw passing touchdowns,
field goals,
all 2 points.
Hit some field goals. He's gonna have to hit some home runs. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to get some.
Give the water on the bench.
Yeah, he's gonna do everything.
I don't know. I mean, I think that team as a whole is just bad. I think it's bad. I mean, they have absolutely no weapons, and they weren't even when Edelman was in there. They're not even targeting him. Like, they're not even looking at him. I think the weapons are terrible. I think Cam Newton honestly hasn't been playing that well because he's just throwing bad throws and he's making bad decisions. And you can blame the receivers, but there was I would say all three of those picks were his fault. Like, the two went directly to the other player, and then the third one he underthrew, or he threw it behind Edelman, and Edelman reached for it, a tip back. I mean, maybe he should have caught that, but at the end of the day, he still threw it behind him. And his ball just looks wobbly.
He didn't set him up for success.
And his ball just looks wobbly. Like, it doesn't look. I'm watching him play, and I don't know. And then the play calling was really suspicious, which is weird because Josh McDaniels is probably one of the best offensive coordinators in the game right now. And I think you just got to run the ball. Like, those receivers are just god awful. And I think Cam hasn't been the same since he's came back from COVID. So I don't know if that's affecting him or what, but he's just making bad throws. He's making bad decisions. I mean, granted, there's nobody on that team, but you just got to run that ball. Just run it. What do you have to lose?
1-4 on the season right now. You know what I mean? They got players out. They're 2-4, like I said. Defense isn't really doing anything great. They just lost by 28 points last game. I don't see any hope from here unless they make big moves, which, like you said, you don't know if they might be wasting their time or if they should just scratch the season off. 2-4, you think it's too early that they're calling it?
No, because you're still in hope. You're still in the division. Like, you can still make the playoffs in the division right now. So this week coming up, I think they play the Bills this weekend. So this is going to be a division game that they play the Patriots. And you're still in it. I mean, there's not the chance. It's not time to jump the ship yet. I mean, you still got to stay the course and try to come up. That's why they're putting up Gilmore. They're trying to get something to see if they can put together some wins. So I mean, you're still in it. I mean, I don't have high hope for them. Obviously, you see what happens when you lose a quarterback like Tom Brady. Like, you know what I mean? How you can see the greatness. You know what I mean? So
I think they got to change it.
They lost LeBron, bro. Lost LeBron. That's what happened.
They got to change up the play calling. I feel like a lot of it's just play calling. Like, it's like some of the stuff I'm like, what are they doing? Like, why are they doing this? Like, I feel like they're not being put in a position of success. And the defense, I mean, they just did a complete 180. What, last year they were weren't they the number one ranked in the league? Probably at least top 10. They were a really good defense. They're the only reason why they made it to the playoffs. Now that defense is god awful. They're terrible. Like, they can't get any pressure. I mean, those secondary is getting burnt. Like, they're just getting toasted like a motherfucker. And it's like, there's not a lot of talent on that team. And for them to really, I mean, if Buffalo has a bad run defense and if they just pound the rock, they could probably beat Buffalo, but honestly, I don't even think they could beat Miami. Like I don't know what happened.
Can they beat the Giants?
Probably. But the weird thing is, it's like before Cam went out, or even like again, I mean, they put up good games. I mean, even against Kansas City, like I think if Cam Newton was in that game, they would have beat Kansas City. I mean,
one of my favorite games, man, was against Seattle, bro. It was a duel, man. It was a battle.
But then they just get smoked.
That's the Cam I want to see. That's the Cam that has something to prove. He came out, like you said, you don't know if COVID has anything to do with it. He's been playing lousy, or if they lost their weapons, or anything else is going on. They're just losing chemistry. But you need to see that fire spark out of him these next games if you're gonna want to have a chance.
I just don't know what.
See, maybe Cam is just because he had that surgery, so maybe this is just him on the decline. You never know. So I mean, we gotta see what these next upcoming games do. This is gonna be a big game this weekend because you have a division game. So if they lose, because right now Dolphins are 3-3 and they're 2-4. If they lose, that's going to put them in third place in the division, and you got to see the Dolphins. And right now they're getting a point differential, and New England Patriots are minus 28 point differential, meaning 28 points got scored more on the Patriots team. So they're not putting up enough points, and the Dolphins are plus 47. So.
I mean, that Seattle game is the only game they put up points. Like, they're not putting up shit. Like, those games that they won are squeezed out. Like,
so it's understandable of why they're trying to trade or get something for Gilmore right now, because right now is when you got to start winning, especially when it comes to the divisional games. It's it's not all hope is lost yet, but still, if you can't win the next couple weeks, I don't see the Patriots make it to the playoffs.
There's another quarterback we were talking about last week's episode who was supposedly on the decline, and Julian was going ham over there saying they should get rid of this guy, Baker Mayfield. Standing game, comeback win, winning drive touchdown. He prove us wrong
against one of the worst defenses in the league, Cincinnati Bengals.
Damn, you can't just give the man his credit.
I will say, I wonder if Odell not being there really made a difference. Hear me out, because think about it. When Odell's in the game, all they're telling Baker is like, throw it to him, throw it to him, throw it to him, throw it to him. Whatever you do, just throw it to him. And I think with him being out of the game, it kind of opens him up and maybe feels him more comfortable to where he can go out there and he's like, you know what, I'm just going to throw it to the open guy, which is what you should in the first place. But when you pay all that money to Odell, and then honestly, I don't think he was really worth that much money. Odell's been good, but I don't think he's ever been like that great, honestly. He had a couple great catches, but like when you look at his career as a whole, like, is it that amazing? Like, not really. I mean, he's just a big
touchdowns, yards on the passes. You know what I mean?
And I think
Julio Jones out here.
I think it helps. I really think it helps Baker. I think it helps Baker. I think it takes the pressure off of him to like having to throw it to Odell every single time. It opens the field up to where now you have no choice to like, and I think now you have all those weapons, you can actually utilize it now. You run the ball more. I mean, Joe Burrow looked great. He looked amazing. That was just an awesome game. That game came down right to the end. I couldn't believe that Baker threw that touchdown right to the second. That was insane.
Pick that week was the Bengals. That was my pick.
No, you got that team. You picked Cleveland.
I pick.
Oh wait, never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I'll take that back.
You're the only one that got it right. Me and Gabe picked Cincinnati. Because I was talking shit about Cleveland. I thought Cleveland was dumb.
Guy Mayfield. Oh, he started the game 0-5 passing, and then finished. He had 21 consecutive receptions, which actually broke the record.
Yeah,
21.
Here's what I say to Baker Mayfield: do it again against a good team, a playoff team. I know, sorry ass Cincinnati Bengals.
I have no faith.
Do it again.
They lost 37. What was it? 33-7 against Pittsburgh in your division, that's a statement game. I don't give a shit if you play Joey Burrow, who has fucking the most sacks on the league, who he's about to die by week 12. Like I mean, don't get me wrong. Cincinnati look good. They look better, but they're not shit, dude. They're not Pittsburgh. They're not Baltimore, and those are the teams you gotta have to beat in that division.
And they already lost last week to the Steelers. So, I mean, they still, again, they still have a shot to make it to the playoffs. They're 5-2. All right. I think the Ravens had a bye week last week, so I think Ravens are 5-0. 5-1.
No, they lost. They're 5-1. They lost to Kansas City.
5-1. Okay, and then the Steelers. So, that very contested. Those are all good teams, and same thing when we're talking about the Patriots. You're gonna have to beat those division teams. So you already lost to the Steelers. So then you come to play the Ravens.
They lost.
Those are really good teams.
Didn't they lose about Baltimore already?
I don't know the whole schedule. I'm not a Browns fan.
I know, but I thought I remember hearing them play them. I don't remember. Yo, speaking of Baltimore, they just picked up Yannick Ngakoue. Now the best Jaguar, Saxonville reunites in Baltimore with Campbell and Ngakoue. These guys I think Ngakoue has 6 sacks and Campbell has 5 because he got 4 in that one game. That Baltimore, man, they're making moves. They're trying to win.
Yeah, that division is ultra competitive. I saw the Ravens. They played the Browns played the Ravens week 1 and they lost. It's like 38-6 or something. So, that's going to be a highly contested division. But I still think the Ravens and the Steelers, they're just really good. They're really good on offense and defense. It's kind of with Cleveland. You don't know what's going to happen. Like if they're going to be productive. Is, Baker Mayfield going to go off again? Is this, is the last week we get, not average Baker Mayfield, or is this week average Baker Mayfield? So, it's also competitive. Like I don't really care too much about the Browns. If they win or lose, it doesn't really matter.
You know that your
Steelers coming out the division.
Browns are your favorite team. You love talking about Baker Mayfield every week. He loves it. He watches every game intensely.
People say
it's as much as he loves the Giants, bro.
Bro, he's just the thing is with Baker's, he's inconsistent, and you can't deal with somebody who's too inconsistent like that. It's the most, trust me, I know it is the most frustrating thing in the world when you have an inconsistent quarterback. And like I said, maybe not having Odell helps. I mean, we'll see what the end of is Odell done? Like, is he done for the season? Like, is he coming back? I forgot what exactly.
I think he's done for the season because he had surgery. So I'm pretty sure he's done for the season.
Let's see. If that's the problem. Let's see if that's the problem.
I don't think it's a problem. I think Odell is going to hurt the Cleveland Browns because what Odell does is he draws, two defenders or 2-3
coverage all day
defenders to his zone. So if you notice last year, people were saying, "Hey, what's going on with Odell? He's he's not producing, he's not getting his yards." But Jarvis Landry still had a good year. You know what I mean? So that's what Odell does to you. You have to cover that guy, with 2 or 3 people, and that allows other people on the offense to be productive. So if you lose a receiver like him, not saying he's like a big receiver, but he is very fast and he can cover all over the field. But now that he's out, I think that puts more pressure on the offense itself. So we'll see who steps up. I think last week, Njoku, their tight end, had a touchdown. We'll see what's going on with the running backs. But I think that puts more pressure on the wide receivers if you lose a guy like Odell Beckham. It's not going to help them win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
let me just tell you that. It's not going to help them get out of the division.
Chubb's on IR. I mean, all they really have a running back is Kareem Hunt. I mean, that I thought that hurt a couple weeks ago, not having Chubb and Kareem Hunt. But we'll see, because I mean, one moment they get smoked, but the next they win, and somehow they're 4-2?
Yeah, they're still in,
which is shocking. I feel like they're way worse.
You get some game-winning drive, and then the next game you might lose by 50. Then you have another close game, lose, and then he does something miraculous, and then you're on the bandwagon again.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, though, in that division, Pittsburgh-Tennessee game was the game of one of many games of the week. That game was so good. There were so many good games this week.
It's fun.
Dude, man, Tannehill, he's honestly really surprised me. He's like genuinely
It's your
surprised me. I
boy.
would have never thought. I mean, this man Gabe's
Gabe's
like
boy.
crying over here. He's like, "Yeah, we got Tua, man. Look at Tannehill. Tannehill's gonna be MVP. He's gonna be MVP."
AB, you never know. I don't know.
Nah, I highly doubt this man's gonna be MVP. He's playing well, but he's not MVP. Like, let's not. Derrick Henry is trying to say he's the MVP. That Tannehill's the MVP.
He's like, "Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me."
blame it on
You want him back?
dumb gays.
Hell no. I want Tua, dog. We got Tua this week, man. Give me Tua.
All right,
I've seen like years of Ryan Tannehill. He's done whatever he could have done. It wasn't enough. So whatever. We got
So
to.
now you're missing the best version of him. You're missing the best version of him now.
But Ben is back. Ben is back. I thought Ben was done. I thought he was done coming in the season. I was like, man,
Everyone thinks Ben is done. Every year they say Ben is done.
He's back, man. Juju's like reinvigorated with Claypool in there. Like, that team is stacked, man. And that defense is unreal. That defense is so good.
I feel like Ben's been playing since I was in elementary school.
Ben's been playing for as long as I can remember.
He is the Steelers. He's the franchise. I'm like, this guy, like, is he ever going to retire, bro?
He always is hurt. Like, it's like, man, how many problems this guy has? But yeah, he comes back, trots his ass on that field every single year. And he always balls out. Like, and man, the Steelers are no joke. They're no joke. I would say they're the best team in the AFC. I don't think there's a team better in the AFC. They might say Kansas City and Baltimore, but no. I mean, we'll see this week. This is going to be a big game, Baltimore Steelers. If Steelers do what they did to Tennessee, if they beat Tennessee, I mean, if the Steelers beat them, they got to be the best team in the NFC. I mean, look at that. I mean,
This is a statement game for Baltimore. Statement game. They lost to KC. They're going against another, top-ranked team, Steelers. Like, for them, because their ultimate goal is the title. Lamar Jackson was the title. This is a statement game. You got to get a win against the Steelers.
And that defense, those additions they picked up. I mean, like I said, picking up Ngakoue, was getting that trade from Minnesota. Like, that was big. That's really big. And then that guy Patrick Queen, that dude's stepping up. He's playing well for that rookie. Well, it's gonna be a close game. I think Pittsburgh, man, they just look good. They look really good. And honestly, Tennessee looks really good because Tennessee took them down to the wire. And I was always on the fence with Tennessee because they were undefeated, but they beat like some no-name teams, except for Buffalo. But Steelers, they're the real deal. Like, I'm actually really surprised. I did not expect that.
Game, man. It was like a shootout. There was all kinds of turnovers. It was one of the best things I saw Sunday morning. I think it was the early game, like 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, it was a 1 o'clock. Yeah,
it was fun to watch, man. I had fun watching it. Like that made like sports fun. Like, I don't have really a dog in the fight. They're both pretty good teams. They'll probably be in the playoffs. They'll probably see each other somehow if that's how the brackets make it out. But that was fun football, man. It's better than looking at fucking Giants, Eagles, or some dumb shit like that.
Man, there was some. I mean, you got to talk about the Atlanta-Detroit game. That was a great game. I mean, honestly,
I didn't watch any of it.
Honestly, even I had the red zone on for the 1 o'clock, but even the Jaguars-Chargers game, like, that game came down to like a couple plays at the end. Like, I'm glad we lost, but I'm glad we lost.
Play too close. Junior was like, "No,
bro." Even the Jets put up a fight. I was like, "Yo, come on!"
Man,
I was like, "Yo,
rooting against his own team."
It's like, "Yo, I really need the Jets to win." The Jets had a 10-0 lead against Buffalo, and man, the Jets are just so bad after that. They scored.
They're terrible.
They scored 10 points. And I swear, every time Red Zone went back to that game, fucking Buffalo was in Red Zone. Buffalo was in the Red Zone every single time. I'm like, what the fuck?
They never left. They never left.
I was like, did the Jets even get the ball? Sam Darnold is so he's so trash. I mean, don't get me wrong. That team is awful. But Sam Darnold is bad. And I'm like, God, you guys can't score a fucking field goal? I was like, Buffalo, that was your game to win. Like, Buffalo looked bad. They're missing field goals. Josh Allen didn't look that great. I was like, come on, Jets. I was like, come
game.
on, New York. I wanted them to win so bad, and they just couldn't fucking do it. They couldn't do it.
They're worse than the Cowboys. I think we made it official. Worse than the Cowboys, the Jets.
What was another good game?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, that's close, but
I mean, technically they're 0-7. Like nobody else is 0-7 like the Jets, so they are worse.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah, I just need them
about the record, bro.
I need them to win against the Giants. I need them to beat somebody. I need them. But man, I mean, another great game, Seattle, Arizona. That was that in Pittsburgh and even the Detroit. I mean, there were just so many good games, but that Arizona game was amazing.
Real quick about this game. Why this game was personally great for me. All right. No backstory. Let's get into our fantasy real quick. Made a few mistakes, didn't make my substitutions that I needed to make for this fantasy. So I find myself down 50 points with one player left. That was none other, Tyler Lockett. I'm sure you guys saw the game and saw what happened. This man got me, 53 or 54 points that I needed. I was watching the game like this. This can't be happening. 3 touchdowns. What was it, 200 yards?
Yeah,
and I was the one time I'm down 50 plus points, the last player gets me the points. That's ridiculous. Only in fantasy, bro. Only in fantasy.
Yeah.
That's it.
DK Metcalf did nothing for you. He was invisible.
He had 2 catches.
Like only 2 times or something.
Yeah, I had him too.
Lockett went off, man. Lockett went off.
No way.
Bro, please.
Yo, I needed that.
Please tell me you guys saw that clip of fucking Metcalf doing a 100-yard sprint down the fucking field. Dude, that man's gonna get busted for roids. I'm telling you. There's no way a motherfucker
Honestly, that's
that big,
than the pick.
that big and that heavy to fucking fly. Dude, I think they said he was he ran like 23
miles an hour or something.
That is insane. And look at the heart. I mean, he was behind.
He was the ball. He was on the other side of the field, came across, chased him down.
Yep.
You should have been on Twitter.
And through players. And through players. And I was like, dude, I couldn't believe. I mean, when you watch the game through live, you don't see that. You see him catch it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you only see the ball.
Well, especially to get that from a wide receiver, because you know how wide receivers are. They're just a bunch of divas. They're just a bunch of bitches for a lot of times. But this motherfucker, he had heart. Like this man, he's gonna get busted for PEDs. I'm telling you. There's no way that guy's a freak of nature. And then did you see that? Did you see what? What's the corner's name that he got tackled? But did you see his response to it? It was.
I was watching all the memes there. You should have seen all the memes on Twitter. Twitter had the Get Out meme, where the guy's like running. This is the cornerback looking back at Metcalf, and it just had the meme from Get Out. I seen the Terminator one. Somebody made a Terminator meme, and the Terminator's like,
"Oh, that one."
Let me see with it. I can't remember what that
with that than the pick itself.
Yeah.
Like, people don't care about the pick. The chase down.
Baker, he was like, DK hawked my ass. I said respect. He's like, he hawked my ass. Bro, that shit is insane.
Yo, where did he come from, bro? He was like, what?
And he had like a 15-yard lead. That was that is one of the greatest football plays I've probably ever seen. I mean, and then to run through players. I mean, just nonstop. And the funny thing is, right before he tackles him, he passes Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson's the last guy, and he made Russell Wilson look like his ass was walking. He was going so goddamn fast. And bro, I mean, that was a big deal, because I don't know, did Arizona end up scoring on that drive? I mean, score a touchdown? Because I mean that would have made a huge difference. Like if you would have stopped them and then the defense would have stopped them or held them to a field goal, that's huge. And just to see the heart of this man.
Imagine if they got the win. Seahawks got the win.
Dude, this guy's stride.
But that would have been a game, bro.
That dude's That dude's a freak of nature. That dude was like a fucking lion. That dude's stride was insane.
You think you could beat that man in a race, Julian? You trying to challenge that man to a race?
Hell, 22 miles an hour for a guy that big. Like, he's not a small guy. Like, that's insane to me. Like, that was the highlight of the game to me. But other than that, I mean, Kyler Murray played out of his mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
he did really amazing. Yo, can we talk about him, bro? Yeah, he's like the second coming of Russell Wilson.
I was on the fence about
Russell Wilson 2.0
because I was afraid he was going to be like Baker, where he's just inconsistent. But I mean, these past couple of weeks and even this whole season as a whole, I mean, he's only really had one bad game, and he's been playing out of his mind. I mean, Hopkins it doesn't matter if you put 3 men on that guy. He's catching that fucking ball. I mean, that team is just good. Kenyon Drake, I think, is top 5 in rushing this year. Or I think he's actually the second most. I think he's second in the league in rushing.
You check that.
Kenyon Drake's the defense is stepping up. Patrick Peterson got a pick. I couldn't believe Russell Wilson threw 3 picks. It did not seem like he threw 3 picks. That's kind of rare to see, but Arizona's no joke. If they can shore up their defense a little bit, I think they're really coming together. At the beginning of the season when they beat San Francisco, and then you realize San Francisco is just not looking that great. I mean, I think is garbage, but I think they're really coming together. If that defense can that's another one. Imagine if they pick up Stephen Gilmore. You get him on one side and Patrick Peterson on the other. Best corner duo in the league. Dude, Fitzgerald, I can't believe this man's still playing. Like, that's insane. And dude, he's jacked.
He had a good game too.
He's jacked.
He had a good game too.
Like, you look at him, you would have no idea how old he is. Like, that guy, he's another one, man. He's just a freak in nature. He takes his health so serious. But dude, Arizona, man, I think that was a statement game. That was a statement game to beat Seattle. That was a really big one. If they can really keep it up, got to put them in the top 10. Like, if they keep, I don't know who they play next week. Actually, I have the schedule up. Actually, they got to bye. It looks like they got.
So they chilling.
Yeah, but they're still up there. That division is also contentious too. I'm looking at the records. Seattle's 5-1, Arizona's 5-2, LA Rams 5-2. So that's also a contentious division right now. So, like you said about Gilmore, like I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to make pad that defense. But again, you have to give up somebody for you have to give up players or picks or yards or money or something. I don't know how the trades work.
Yeah, I mean, you also got San Francisco, which they might make a turnaround. They have a lot of injuries. They might. I mean, they're 3-3. The thing is with Garoppolo, man, he is so bad at the deep ball. He is so garbage. And I remember thinking that during the Super Bowl when we were all watching that at the brewery.
I remember that.
He had I think Deebo Samuel was wide open.
We're all together watching the Super Bowl, weren't we?
Yeah. I remember he had him wide open and for a touchdown, and he overthrew him. It's check down Charlie, bro. That's what fucking Jimmy Garoppolo is. He's checked down. He don't throw past 10. Charlie. He doesn't throw past 10.
He's not like Aaron Rodgers type Hail Mary. You need to throw it 60 yards down the field. He's not that type of quarterback.
Or Russell Wilson. That division, that's got to be the best division in the league. I mean, that or NFC.
Well, he's not a Baker Mayfield, with these game-winning drives. He's not elite like Baker Mayfield. Elite, with these game-winning drives, bro.
Very, very generous.
Elite.
But JoJo, tell us about the World Series. I'm not gonna lie. I watched like a couple innings of it, and then I was like, I don't really care, so I stopped watching.
Listen, man. First off, shout out the Yankees of the West. I'll give you that. Dodgers. First chip since 1988, I want to say. 1988, first ring. They made major moves. They went to the last 3 or 5 World Series, lost the 2. Got your boy Mookie Betts. Put all that money into him. It's definitely worth it. This guy was stealing bases, hitting home runs, robbing home runs, timely hits, that mattered. But there is one thing, right, that I really want to talk about watching that Game 6. I was very disappointed. Maybe you'll agree with me, Gabe, if you saw it. The Rays, that's their style of play. They have a strong bullpen. You know what I mean? They see some pitchers slipping up, boom, they take them out right away. That's how they've been playing, right? They keep the games close with their pitching, right? They do have some great offensive players, but they don't really rely on that, right? They keep the games as close as they can until they strike or they shut down with the pitching. They took your boy out Snell, 6 innings, 9 Ks, gave up only 2 singles, 0 walks, was in a groove, struck out Mookie Betts, struck out everyone else on that team, bro. They could have hit him. They were uneasy, off balance, terrible timing, afraid. Approach terrible to the plate. They were afraid of this guy. Manager taking him out was the best thing you could have done. I know that's their style of play. All he did was gave up a single inning.
Did he have like 9 strikeouts too? He had 9 strikeouts.
9 Ks, 0 walks. They only gave up 2 singles. 5 extra base hits. They took him out. And for me personally, I get that's their style of play. He cost them the game.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So, I'm not saying I ever caught like professionally or whatever. I caught in college. So, and when I kind of got a sense for, that's one of the things that I like watching about baseball. So I can what?
I said, did you make it to the minors?
No.
Gabe's like, yeah, I was single A.
Oh, no.
But as a catcher, that's what I like watching about the games. I like watching the catching and kind of seeing, you can see the ebbs and flows of the games and you can tell, that's a good inning or a bad inning or he's missing spots. That's what personally I like to watch because I played the position. So I like watching the pitching duels. And here's the thing, man, about any sport, it can be football, basketball, whatever. Put the ball in your best player's hands, dog. And Snell is their best player, their best pitcher that they have. Best pitcher, best player, period. And to take him out that early, bro, that's like, I don't know, that goes against my instinct. I kind of, they made a big deal out of it, and truthfully so. Like, maybe that's what they, normally did during the regular season. But for a playoff, dog, you're playing, you're fighting. You're down 2 games. You need to win this game. You're fighting.
The next game. You
put
need
the ball in your best player's hand. And he was playing well. It wasn't even like he sucked or whatever. Maybe they get a hit or whatever. He's playing well. He struck out 9 people in 6 innings. Like, you know what I mean? That's a high clip, and he's pitching. And he wasn't even like, 100 pitches or 130 pitches. The guy pitched like 70 pitches.
60, 70.
Yeah, 60
pitches.
He still had
innings, you know what I mean?
He still had game in him, and to take him out that early, man, I don't know, dog. The one thing here's the one thing. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say, going into the series, to me, I felt like LA was the favorites. I think the pitching was pretty even. They all have pretty good, bullpen. The pitching was pretty even. But the one thing that was at a disadvantage where I think LA is the favorite is because LA, they could hit, dog. And not only do they have playoff experience, they have hitters, dog. So if you're going to win the game, you got to play perfect. You got to fucking swing the bat. And if, Tampa's best chance to win is to get hits and get on base. And they're not really, that team is not really built to like score a lot, unlike the Dodgers. The Dodgers, like we said, the Yankees, they buy their bats. So they're always going to produce, dog. Mookie Betts going to come up. Bellinger, Seager, all these Turner, all these guys, they're going to swing and they're going to move the ball. So, take that back to Snell. Snell can't score runs when he's pitching, right? You're playing defense and he's your best pitcher. It was premature to take him out. But kind of, you need your team to score as well. So it's not just defense, but you need a team to score. And, like I said, I was kind of rooting for Tampa.
They won't run.
But, I knew LA was a good team, dog, because they've been in the playoffs. They've been under that pressure. They have the hitters. They have the pitchers. They were slated to win. So, for Tampa to win, they had to play perfect. They had to hit the ball, and they didn't. And just to take them out in that Game 6, man, don't put the ball in your best player's hand, dog. Put the ball in his hands and let him perform. That's why you pay him the big bucks, and that's why he's your best player, dog. That's why he's your ace, because he's the best pitcher on the team.
Mookie Betts had the lowest slugging percentage against left-handed pitchers in the league. And he already struck him out twice that game. And then you take him out and he's dealing. Now, as a former player, right? You know what that does for you? You're as a hitter, right? Can't get a hit, guys got you off balance. For the coach or manager to take the pitcher out, do you know that your confidence boost on that?
Yeah.
They're like, finally. That was literally them. They said, thank God.
Yeah.
And then guess what happened? 3 runs. Now here's the argument. Saying, all right, did the manager make the wrong decision in taking him out, or did it like just put in the wrong reliever? Like they shouldn't have just taken him out entirely.
They should have taken him out, bro. He's pitching well. He's playing well. He's playing a good game. Imagine LeBron James at the third quarter. He's putting up 30 points. He's got 10 assists, and then you're playing for a championship, and then just sit him down. And imagine, I don't know, LeBron James or somebody sitting down in the third quarter. You just take him out the game, and he just never plays the rest of the game. Like, how you would like look at your coach and be like, "What the hell is he doing? Why is LeBron James sitting on the bench? Why is AD sitting on the bench? Like, this is for the championship. Like, we're trying to play to win. Why would you sit him down?" So I think it wasn't just they did what they normally do during the regular season, but still, like, you're fighting for your life. You have to win 2 games. You have to win this game now so you can play tomorrow and win. You know what I mean? So your back is against the wall. To take the ball out of his hands, that was just the wrong move. You know what I mean? And he's got to live with that. I don't know if Tampa's gonna. We'll see how good they are next year. They still got a pretty good team. Their pitching is very well, but I don't know what's gonna go on with the baseball season. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Because now next year, here comes the Red Sox. They're gonna have another chance to go to the World Series, and here comes the Yankees. They're gonna have another chance to get into the playoffs. So this was your chance, man. And I don't know, man. You dropped the ball, man. You took the ball out the kid's hands for no apparent reason, other than I don't know.
Tough division right there, bro.
That's a tough division to get out of. Yeah.
And bro, they got through Toronto first round, got through the Yankees second round, and got through the Astros in the third round. They do it again. No, obviously I'm going for the Yankees, but again, this was their shot. Right? They kind of slipped up at the end. But another controversial topic. Again, congrats, LA Dodgers, 2 rings. Lakers got the first one.
Also,
Kobe,
real quick,
just did it. What's up?
I think that game would have went to Game 7. I think what would have happened, right? What I said last.
It just wouldn't choke.
It would have put in Clayton.
Clay, I can't even have the pitch.
And then
no hitter.
Then he would have choked.
No hitter.
Well, actually performed very well this series. He was like 2-0, had a couple Ks. But if they put in Kershaw, man, with his track record in the playoffs, oh my God.
You got to. He's one of the greatest pitchers ever, man. Yeah. And I said it was a guarantee that he was throwing a no hitter.
Put some respect on his name.
Game 7, no hitter, World Series. Most clutch performance ever made by a pitcher in MLB history since 1859, when they were playing wiffle ball bats.
Wiffle ball bats. Yo, check this. They took Turner out. I don't know if you know, Gabe. He tested positive for COVID in the middle of the game.
Oh, you're talking about that guy? He celebrated? He celebrated with the team and then mid-game. How did that happen?
Yeah, they took him out. How does that happen?
But here's the thing. Here's another thing, too. Because they took him out, I think, in the 7th inning. I think they took him out. He just disappeared. Yeah. But I heard that the test was positive. They found the news. The league knew in the 2nd inning. So man's played 4 innings while the league was trying to figure out with the Players Association. What I heard was, because they're all in the same building, because, the Rob Manfred was in the building. The Players Union rep was also in the building because they're watching the playoffs. That's they usually go to the games and watch the championship game. So this man played for 6 innings while they decided what they're going to do with Turner. So they knew everybody knew. Turner knew in the 6th inning. The Players Union knew in the 2nd inning, and Rob Manfred knew in the 2nd inning. And they waited until the 7th inning. They said, "Okay, pull him." And then they won the game, obviously, and then he came back out. Yeah.
I'm just confused. How did that happen?
Don't back out, no mask, hanging around his teammates, celebrating. Hey, I give you that. You want to celebrate? Still in the middle of a pandemic, bro, and you were tested positive. I don't know how comfortable I feel with you being around my family members and me passing it on to everybody.
The kids, the babies out there.
Honestly, dude, fuck it. That man. Apparently, I heard he went to the World Series like twice and lost it. This is like your childhood dream. If everybody's chill with it, fuck it. Like, you know, like I won the fucking World Series.
In the moment, until somebody, God forbid, gets hospitalized, you know, that was in that area, then now you're not thinking about the championship. You're thinking about everything else going on. So, I mean, I just feel like, yo, we got to take precaution regardless. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't understand how that happened in the first place. How do they get results midway through the game? Don't they, like every sport, don't they test before the games and they understand, like, how would they clear him to play without actually getting his results?
I don't know, man. MLB is so weird, dog, because they were playing games back to back, and then they skipped game every other day. The schedule is super, super weird. But this is like it's kind of you know, I think it looks bad not just only on Turner, because everybody's talking about Turner in LA. They just let him go out there. No, this is bad on the league, because you know why? Earlier in the year, you know, like was it the first week when baseball came back?
The franchise, the management,
the Marlins were made fun of for getting positive tests and going out to play, and you know how they shut everything down. And, you know, everybody's on Twitter, or I'm on Twitter. So everybody's on Twitter talking shit about the Marlins. COVID-19, they're talking about their Tootsies and shit, or whatever the fuck. You know, they shut down the game. They didn't even get to play for like a week or two. And, you know, the Marlins schedule, they had to double up with a lot of double headers because the schedule they had to make up. Man. So the game, so really what happened, what I heard what happened is the first test came back inconclusive. And really what you're supposed to do is treat that inconclusive test like a positive test. So he shouldn't have been playing from the jump. MLB shouldn't have had him out there from the jump. But they let him play, and then the other test came back in the second inning. And like I said, they waited third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning, sixth inning. Then they take him on the seventh inning. And by that time, like to play like that many innings, 4 innings, that's like an hour of baseball. So for like an hour, the man was out there. He should have been starting. And then when you found out that he was out there for like another hour, and you know what I mean? So, you know, everybody's talking about LA and him coming back out, but I think this looks bad on the league. This is bad on Rob Manfred, because, you know, either if you're going to test, right, the only reason why you test is because you care about the results, right? If you don't give a damn about the results, don't even do the test. Like if the league didn't give a damn about COVID-19, why are you testing? If he's going to test positive and you're going to let him play anyways, what's the point of doing the test? Because you don't care if he's positive or negative, so just let him play. You know
but is that the league's fault, or is that I don't know how baseball is, but I know with like football, all the teams are held responsible for the testing and all that stuff. So wouldn't that be on fault from the LA Dodgers, like the management there?
Well, if you remember at the beginning of the year, you know, the baseball shouldn't even happen, because there was like a week or two, like in July, where we didn't even know if we're going to have baseball because there was disputes between the players union and the league, the commissioner, which is, you know, like the owners. So the owners and the players union, they were fighting over, you know, specifically what is, you know, now that we know COVID-19 is here, what are the protocols? They had to agree on, you know, the games and all the rule changes. So they had to agree on that stuff beforehand, before the season even started. So they agreed on certain protocols of COVID-19 that the teams all agreed, the owners and the players agreed to. And so this was just a violation of that agreement. So they said they're investigating, but like I said, this is not really. Okay, yeah, Turner shouldn't have been out there. But as well, I think this looked bad on Rob Manfred, because they didn't give a damn from jump. Like I said, they should have treated him like positive. He shouldn't have played at all from the beginning. And then when you find out in the second inning, he should have been pulled immediately, not wait, you know, 4 or 5 innings to pull him out of the game.
So they're all going to know what's going on, you know?
Everybody was in the building. It's not like, there's some guy there like, I got to go to Alaska to go sit. No, everybody was in the building. All the reps. Rob Manfred was in the building. LA, obviously, they're playing. There, you can easily go downstairs. Yeah, you can go downstairs, go into the back, into the league, into the players' rooms, and say, "Hey, you gotta sit, or you gotta quarantine, or whatever the hell." So this was just a mismanagement by the league, I think, in my opinion. Not only the Dodgers, but the league itself.
I'm sure they're all. I'm sure they're all just going to quarantine before they get home, anyways. They're all going to quarantine, test, or I don't know if they're on their own with that, but I'm sure they're all going to quarantine and then test and see if they come back negative before they all go home. I'm sure of it.
That's what you think, but you never know. Like,
well, I'm saying it depends on the person. I'm saying if somebody really cares, if you're a player and you care, then you'd wait before you go home. I mean, if you're a player and you're just like, whatever, fuck it, or if you have the antibodies or your family has it, then you just go home, whatever. But I mean, if you have somebody that you're worried about and you're going home, they're probably going to quarantine, and I'm sure the MLB would probably cover it for the team. I'd say.
No, I don't know what's agreed upon. I don't know what's in their rules. But right now, technically, the season's over, so they're not playing baseball.
Season's over. There's no
reason.
No, but I'm saying personally on their own. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, the MLB can be held responsible if, like Gabe was saying, so therefore the players
they have to go home regardless. The season's over. They have to go home. Yeah. I mean, they're quarantined at home, but they're
what I'm saying is what I'm saying is though, the players union come out and like, I don't know, put some sort of say that like, hey, look, the league has to cover so and so because they fucked up. Then they stay another 2 weeks or whatever. Like I said, even if they don't cover it, I'm sure anybody who is worried, you don't think a player's going to wait you think they're just going to go right back home knowing that they're positive if they're worried on their, I mean, they make millions of dollars. They can hold for a hotel for like a week or two.
They might test themselves
be realistic.
They might test themselves to know for themselves. But if I'm Rob Manfred and I already mismanaged this, I don't want to test any players. Why? Because I risk the chance of it being a positive test. So it's like, not only did we get a positive test before the game, but now afterwards, I tested all these people who are around him at the World Series and on the field and taking pictures and kissing babies. And now they also test positive. So as a commissioner, that'll make me look bad. So if I'm the league, I'm the commissioner, I'm the owners, I'm Rob Manfred, I don't want to test nobody.
I'm not sure about that.
People will go home and test themselves, but if I'm the league, I don't want to know.
You're talking about individually. Yeah, you're saying, if you were so worried.
Because you're saying like, oh, you might feel bad if you go home. But I'm sure any player that is worried or has somebody who is vulnerable, they're probably going to hold off before they go back home.
I mean, regardless, the whole point was having a player out there that you knew was positive.
Yeah, I think that's the Dodgers' fault. I'm not sure how much of that's on the MLB. But from what I can tell, I think that the Dodgers should be the one administering the test and everything, and they're the ones that put them out there at the end of the day. Because I'm sure they have a COVID reserve list, just like any other league.
Yeah, of course they ignored it. They again, like they found out in the second inning, then they didn't make a decision.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the team itself.
I don't know how much it is to blame on the MLB more so than the Dodgers, but.
But here's the thing: they shut down the Marlins. The Marlins were supposed to play the Cardinals, and they shut it down. There was that big thing that happened this year. Like I said, everybody making fun of the Marlins, and they shut it down. So that's what should have happened in this situation. You have a player with a positive test; he tested positive twice. It should have been shut down. He should have been playing. Should have been out there.
Just like football.
Here's my question to you. So you think it's the Dodgers' fault, right? And they obviously knew now, and everyone knows. The league knows. Second inning, you found out he was tested positive. Should there be repercussions?
For what? Wait, you're saying
for knowing
should the Dodgers,
an active player, should they be punished by the league, not removing him from the game?
I mean, I don't know the details. So you're saying that they knew by the second inning 100% that he had a test that came up positive.
They didn't remove him until the 7th.
I don't even think that's the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue is how the timing of the test was bad. They should have the test. Everything should come up before they even play the game. And if he had an inconclusive result, they either should have tested him and did a rapid test before the game started, or if they didn't have that means, then they should have.
That was Gabe's point. Gabe made that point. My question is now, stating that they knew, should the Dodgers be punished?
They're probably going to get fined. I mean, they're probably going to get fined. Look at the NFL. I think I don't know how much. Gabe, your screen went green. Yeah. You want to turn off your camera and turn it back on. All right, there you go. They're probably going to get fined. For sure. I know the NFL, they were fining coaches like $150,000
for not wearing masks.
Yeah, like mid-game, which I don't really agree with because these guys are all getting tested. They're just like players. There's no difference. So I don't understand why they have to wear a mask and then get fined $150,000 for it if they're in the same situation as the players where they're getting tested consistently. You know what I mean? So if they're showing up negative, I guess I don't see why it's different for coaches than it is players if everybody who's at that game is all getting the same amount of testing and the same amount of stuff, which I think that's wrong personally, but I'm sure they're going to end up finding the Dodgers, whoever is responsible, or just the organization as a whole.
Yeah. Well, to end this topic, congrats to the Dodgers once again, first chip since 1988. LA, City of Champions. Now, big topic for Julian here, and favorite, UFC
254, Justin Gaethje versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. I think Khabib solidified himself this week as the greatest lightweight to ever do it. He ended up retiring at the end of the fight after submitting Gaethje in a triangle choke, which I was actually kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised it ended early. Now Khabib is retiring with only one round loss ever. 29-0 with only one round he lost, and that was against McGregor. Round two, I think. He's got to be. And then I think the UFC is doing him right. I mean, even John Jones came out and was like, look, I'll take down my crown as the number one pound for pound fighter in the UFC right now, and I'll gladly give it to him, which I think he rightfully deserves it. Justin Gaethje was putting up a good fight. He was killing him with those leg kicks. Khabib's leg was super red, but just what I predicted. Khabib was going to keep on going after him on the takedowns. Gaethje couldn't stop. He stopped him, I think, on the first one, but he kept on going. He finally took him down. Gaethje ended up getting submitted because he didn't properly use his jiu-jitsu to just get on his back. He was kept on trying to get up, kept on showing his back to Khabib, and then he ended up getting exposed. Khabib first went for the armbar. He didn't get it, and then Gaethje tried to get back up, and then Khabib then held on and then brought him in and gave him the triangle choke. Khabib, I mean,
I remember your prediction though. You were saying it's gonna go
all the way decision,
5 rounds.
He said decision.
Yeah. And what was my prediction?
You said you're gonna submit him. I honestly I would have never guessed he would have submitted him. I wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't have thought Gaethje would have submitted. That was honestly really shocking. I thought it was going to go to decision or possibly a TKO. But hey, I mean, the man can do it all.
TKO.
He can strike with him. I think his striking is underrated. I mean, it's not his best thing, obviously, but I think he can hold up with the best of them. But Khabib, man, I mean, the dude's insane. It sucks. I would have liked Conor to probably get a rematch because Conor was the only one that took a round on him, which still baffles me. Like, I still can't believe that he's only won.
That's insane. That's an insane stat. That was insane.
He's only ever lost one. And it kind of what I said happened. The only difference is that he actually got the submission. But how Khabib got exposed was exactly how I said he was. I mean, not Khabib. Gaethje got exposed exactly how I said it was. I think Gaethje's definitely going to be the runner-up. I think they're going to let Dustin Poirier and McGregor, if that fight ends up coming through in January, if they can get that done, Dana White can get that done, they're going to fight for the belt. The thing is, like, man, with Justin Gaethje, he's definitely the next person to get the shot. Like, I don't see anybody else. Like I said, Gaethje's definitely in the title contention. He's definitely going to be the next championship fight. But man, even if he was to win it, you couldn't help but, like, in the back of your mind, think about, like, man, but I didn't actually beat the guy. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, even if he ends up winning it because this could be retired, you always got to have that in the back of your mind, like, but am I really the guy? Because I didn't beat the guy. And to be the guy, you gotta beat the guy.
Gotta beat the guy. Sure, I agree with that statement. You'll never be the guy. That was his chance. If you lost to the best fighter in the world, you're not the best fighter in the world, I feel like.
Yeah, but you can only fight who's in front of you. So, like,
yeah, I think eventually he'll get over it. I mean, I don't see why. But I think that'll always be. I don't think Justin Gaethje, like from what I've gathered from him from his interviews and stuff, I don't think he really cares that much. But I think that'll always be a hit on his legacy. Is that he didn't beat Khabib, but we'll see. I mean, I'm really excited to see what the future is for the lightweight title. It's gonna be great. I'm really glad Khabib won. I mean, especially with everything that's happened to him with his father and everything, and that's why he ended up retiring. Not even because he was old, but because he couldn't do another camp without his dad there training. And it was really hard for him to do this one, but you know what? I mean, he didn't lose a step whatsoever. The dude's great. You know what I thought was funny though through that fight, because Black Ops Cold War's coming out and they're like they were like the big advertiser for that fight, and then like the championship fight is Khabib from Russia versus just a Gaethje from the Midwest. I just thought that was hilarious, but yeah, I mean it was
ironic, huh?
It's a great fight. I mean, I watched the undercard too. Robert Whittaker's a fucking beast. He's definitely next in line. Other than that, there wasn't really any other fights I cared too much about. I don't think I really watched them. There's a lot of knockouts. But yeah, that was a great fight. I mean, shout out to Khabib. I think Gaethje's probably going to be the future of this of that division. But yeah. I don't know if you guys watched it or saw the highlights at all.
I saw the highlights. I saw on Twitter because it was an early fight. It was like at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or something.
Yeah, they're switching.
So I just saw the. Yeah. I don't know, where was Fight Island at? I think it was like Abu Dhabi or something.
Abu Dhabi. That's because Dana White was saying, because this is the first like pay-per-view that's like during the day, and Dana White was saying that because UFC has now become a global sport, and now that they're fighting all over the world and everything, you know, they don't want to just cater to the United States time, which I'm fine with. I thought it was great watching it at like 3:30. I was like, thank God, because it's a nightmare sometimes sometimes I'm at that bar and I'm just so fucking tired. It's like 1 o'clock and I had a few drinks and it's just like making me sleepy as hell. But
all those times we went out to watch the McGregor fights, like waiting for this fight, like, all right, it's 1 a.m. now. Like, is this guy gonna get into the ring? Like,
yeah, I'm down.
If a fight ends early, like they always like try to extend like the story all the way to like midnight, so they start on midnight. Like they don't start walking out until like midnight or something.
Yeah, it's not usually. The main card almost always starts at 10, but then I mean it varies depending on how long those previous fights are, how many title fights they are, and all that. Yeah. Great fight, though. Really good.
Time for those picks of the week.
Picks of the week?
Let's go back to the NFL.
All right, Gabe. What is our
rankings? So, guys, we've been doing picks every single week. It's our third week now. What do we rank off, guys? Who's in the lead for our NFL picks and predictions?
So right now, it's me and Julian are tied. We're both actually, me and JoJo are both tied, 19-9, and Julian is 20 and 8.
This man is hype. He's up one game.
One
game. Ready
to win 12-2 last week.
Guys excited.
12-2. Trust my predictions. Hammer down that fucking that Vegas line because I got your picks for you. I really should start putting my money down on those money lines.
Bro, honestly, man, you're about to start losing some people money. If you guys are listening, don't trust Julian's picks. He might lose you some money. Go to Vegas. Trust me. Go to Vegas with your little allowance either. Don't do it.
Damn, they really need to allow sports gambling here in Florida soon. I'm sure. Hopefully soon.
That'll probably happen.
Probably all the change. It's because all the casinos down here. It just gets political. All right, you got the schedule, Gabe, or you want me to get it?
Yeah, I'll write it down too.
All right, I'll say the schedule then.
Oh. All right, we should start with tonight's game, actually. Right now.
Tonight's Thursday night.
Atlanta's going on.
Carolina
Score 7-6, and it's 2 minutes left in the first.
7-6.
I got ATL because your boy Gurley's on the fantasy, so I gotta go for him right now. Go for Atlanta.
I'm gonna go Carolina because they always try to find a way to lose. Carolina. Atlanta always finds a way to lose at the end. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Now I got faith in them tonight, though. I'm feeling good.
I think I'm gonna take Carolina. I think Teddy Bridgewater, he's actually kind of surprised me a little bit. And then once they get Christian McCaffrey back, I think that team, their potential, like they're in the hunt for sure. They get McCaffrey back. But I saw his brother play the other day. I was like, what the hell? He has a brother in college football. It's a running back too. He plays really well. I forgot what team it was for. I was shocked. I was like, what the hell?
I didn't know. What's the next game?
All right, next game. Game of the week.
We got
Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
Ooh, division rivalry.
Baltimore. Add it down.
I'm going to go Pitt. I think they got a better defense. These are really good playoff teams. They'll see each other. They'll be on opposite ends of the bracket.
Like I said, statement game for Baltimore. Got to get this dub over the Steelers.
I'm going to go Pitt.
You want to go to the Super Bowl.
Book it.
You know what I'm saying? You got to start beating the best teams out here.
Going Pitt. Book it.
Lamar Jackson out here.
I think Pittsburgh's defense is going to shut them down. They don't really have any weapons other than Mark Andrews, honestly. You got Ingram.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense is stout, though. All right, next game, we got Fins Up, Gabe, versus Los Angeles Rams. Fins Up.
It's 2 a time. I'm gonna go Rams winning this, man. I believe in Jared Goff more. I got him on the fantasy team. I think the Rams.
Damn, not a real fan.
I mean, I could definitely see that happening, but damn, bro, you're not even gonna defend your Dolphins a little bit. You're not even give them a little hope with Tua.
No,
you can't. Really. Not his first game. That's a tough first start.
24-0, whatever.
That's a tough first start is against the Rams. Especially, I mean, you got Jalen Ramsey on the other side, and you got Aaron Donald. That's a tough task.
It's a brings great players, man. That's it. You just got to throw him in the fire, see if he comes out.
But I'm taking Rams.
You make diamonds, bro. All under pressure. See, I'm going Rams.
You going Rams? Talking mad trash.
I'm going Rams, though.
What you got, Julian?
I got Rams.
Get the Rams too?
Yeah.
We're all going Rams.
I don't think
they pulled up. Yo,
good luck to Tua. Good luck to Tua. Don't get eaten up.
I heard Gabe's going to that game.
Tua. I think he's gonna perform decent. He's gonna have a good game.
It's gonna be hard, that Los Angeles Rams defense is kind of good. Next game, we got the New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go.
I'm not gonna make a pick because you already know.
Let's go Jets.
I didn't have to say it.
Yeah, definitely not back in NY in this one again. Sorry, guys.
Let's go Jets.
I'm just trying to be realistic.
Let's skip to the next game. I didn't have to say.
No, I got Kansas City. I want the Jets to win. Minnesota at Green Bay.
I got Green Bay. I trust in Aaron Rodgers. He's going to bounce back.
He's going to smooth them. He's going to smooth them.
They played already earlier in the year. I think that was like maybe the first game. And that Minnesota defense, that secondary is terrible.
Hot take: Minnesota's tanking. That's why they got rid of Ngakwe for picks, because they gave the Jags picks, second rounder, and like some other picks for him. So that as soon as I saw that they were getting rid of him, I was like, "Yep, they're tanking. They're going to pick somebody. They're picking somebody up. I don't know who, but
yeah, honestly, I don't. After you just called that out too, I don't see any hope for that team. But Aaron Rodgers, man, this guy's going to be out there doing Aaron Rodgers things, man. Especially against that team, easy dub.
Julian, who you got?
Green Bay.
I think we're all there. All right. So next game.
All right.
Somebody call an upset, man.
This is actually a good one. And I think this is a statement game for the Detroit Lions because they are facing off against the Indianapolis Colts. That is a good game right there. I think Detroit is coming back.
I don't know if it's a good game. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I don't know if it's good.
Indianapolis is good.
Give me Indy.
Going Indy?
Yeah. I don't trust in the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going Indianapolis.
I'm going Lions this week. I'm going Lions.
I'm going Indianapolis, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think this is a statement game because, I mean, Detroit, they beat Jags and then they beat Atlanta. So, I mean, they won 2 straight, but
Atlanta,
great teams.
Atlanta tends to give games, so.
And then we suck.
No, you say beat.
Suck, so. All right.
Handouts.
Yeah, they gave it to the Cowboys. They gave that one game to the Cowboys. Can't cover up a damn fake kick or something.
And they choked to the Bears. Remember that? Fucking DeAndre Swift dropped the ball like week 1. Dropped the ball for the touchdown. That was terrible.
I got the Colts wrong. What's the next game?
All right.
Like I said,
Vegas at Cleveland. Can Baker
This is an interesting game to me.
All right. This one's interesting. I'll back my boy Mayfield at home, coming off a game-winning drive, playing a great team. OBJ's out, like you said. I open up opportunities for other players, and he might just be more comfortable, less pressure. The confidence is there. I feel like the confidence there, and he's at home. He has to get the win. Going Browns.
I'm going Las Vegas.
I'm going Vegas.
I think Vegas is pretty good. I think they're pretty good. I mean, every team they go against, even if they lose, it's close. And I think Vegas, man, they're missing that one little like it factor that just like puts them over the edge because they're a good team. And I don't watch them enough to really know. I don't know if it's the defense or if it's Derek Carr or what, but I just feel like they're always like right there, but they just can't close out games. And they just need that last little bit of edge to like really just like take it home.
I hope it's a shootout, but I'm going to go Vegas. I think Vegas put up like 30-40, and I think they can do it.
I'm going to go Vegas too. I don't trust Baker Mayfield has one good game, and the next game he's ass. So.
All right, man, I think we'll do 2 games in a row. I think he can do it.
Let's see. Now we got Tennessee at Cincinnati. Joey gets his ass beat. Burrow this week.
Oh.
I'm going Tennessee.
Joey gets his ass beat, Burrow.
I think Tennessee is on a roll. They're a really fun team. I think they're like kind of the Cinderella team this year. I'll go Tennessee.
As much as I hate fucking Tennessee because they're just our rivals and I can't stand watching them succeed, but they are good. Like I thought after seeing how they played against Pittsburgh, they're the real deal. They're really good. And that defensive line is going to absolutely obliterate Joey. Get his shit rocked, Burrow.
He just changed his Instagram name to that. See, man's getting beat down. It's gonna be another beat down from a team that gives beat downs. So I already know where I'm going.
And we all got Tennessee.
Sorry. It's not Cincy, by the way. I don't know if you got that. So man, I try to give him benefit of the doubt. I mean, it's his rookie season, but it's just O-line. And they're not helping homeboy out. Not doing it for him.
I don't think I've ever seen an O-line this bad. Like this is fucking bad.
They're not doing it. They're not doing it for him.
All right, now we got the bounce back game for Cam Newton versus the Buffalo Bills.
You know what, bro? Honestly, I'm gonna take this one. I think I'm not gonna give up faith in Cam yet. Newton's out. He's probably their best receiver. But Buffalo played a terrible game as well, and I'm just rooting for Cam, man. I feel like New England, they're gonna figure out a way to get this win so they don't fall behind 2-5. Get the win 3-4. They're still in it. On New England.
I think Buffalo, just for the sake of just being like, just for the sake of that team, they have to win. Apparently, under that regime of Sean McDermott, they are 0-7 against New England. They have not beaten New England at all. Josh Allen's never beat him. Nobody on that team has beaten New England. And this is a statement game. This is like to say, like, all right, look, fuck you, Bill Belichick. We're taking this goddamn division. We've been the bottom to your top for too fucking long now. Like, they got to win this, but I don't know, man. After seeing how they played against the goddamn Jets, like they barely won that game. And like they were hot at first, but I don't know if Buffalo's that good as we're making him out to be at first. It's going to be a close game. If I really had to pick, they're in JoJo's hometown of Buffalo, so.
All right.
I'm sure he's going for Buffalo.
Still have never stepped foot in Buffalo.
I'm kind of surprised he's not going for his hometown team. So I'm gonna go for the Bills.
I'm going Buffalo. They're the better team in the division. Buffalo.
Let's see.
All right.
Predictions here.
We got Denver Broncos versus Los Angeles Chargers, and it's at Denver. Denver's got a crowd now. It's a good game.
I think Denver has if it's an away game, but I'm going to go Chargers on this one.
I'm going to go Chargers. I think Justin Herbert is such a better quarterback than Drew Lock. I think Drew Lock is...
That boy good.
Drew Lock's ass.
You see that boy Herbert is dealing, bro. This guy is racking up yards every single game. I also
he dropped 4.
I can't go against the Broncos. So I'm going Broncos.
Drew Lock's terrible. They need to get rid of him. It's bad.
But don't say that too loudly. Don't say that too loudly, though. Come on. Some of us
got no quarterbacks in Denver, dog. They got nobody.
They're also a little embarrassed.
They need to pull out John Elway out from the fucking box office and put his ass out.
They need to bring back Peyton Manning. 2015 Manning. So
Peyton Manning is coach. John Elway come back and play on the field. All right, we got... This is a good game. San Francisco versus Seattle.
Ooh, it's easy for me.
Baby. Seattle, baby.
Seattle. San Francisco might put up a fight, but I'm going to go Seattle. All right. Now we got...
is not winning in the shootout against Wilson.
Trashalo. We got New Orleans at Chicago. I don't know what to think of fucking Chicago, dude. Like, I really don't. They just, like, they just come off trash, but somehow they still win games.
I think their offense is terrible. I don't think they got anybody on offense. Their best player is Nick Foles, but they have no help around him. You know, their running backs suck, man. Montgomery and Cohen, they stink. The only thing they have is a championship defense. You know, they almost made it to the playoffs last year. So their defense is really, really good, but they have no offensive help. So I'm going to go New Orleans just because they have Taysom Hill.
Yeah, all they have is Allen Robinson, and that's it. And then he has trash-ass Nick Foles throwing to him. Like, Chicago's like that ugly dude that somehow picks up chicks. Like, I don't get it. That's literally what they are. Like, I don't get it, but
they're funny. They must be funny or something.
Yeah, ugly dude, but he's got a big dick. That's what it is. It's Big Dick Nick. Big Dick Nick. New Orleans.
Orleans. You got JoJo.
I'm going Nola.
Damn, you gotta do some separation. All right,
here we go right here. Sunday night football. NFC East rivals go against each other once again. We got the Dallas Cowboys at Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles.
Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders versus the Eagles.
I'm going
Eagles. Caca Bowl 2020. Caca Bowl 2020.
Going Eagles. They're at home. Carson Wentz is playing. I don't know who the fuck is throwing the ball over in Dallas because then Andy Dalton get hurt. So it's like,
bro, honestly, in that division, bro, it's always just bragging rights.
So
Carson wins that game. One team beats the other. They're just gonna talk the rest of the season like I beat you. That's it. That's all they care about.
This is for the division lead. Cowboys have the lead right now in the division, and they got like what 2 wins? Like.
Thank God.
Philly can take the lead right now. Philly's probably the best team in that division.
The Giants in Washington?
Yeah. I got Philly. I think they're just a better team, even though they suck. I think their offensive line is terrible. Carson Wentz is being railed out there.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles too, but I don't give a damn about this game. I hate the Cowboys.
Sunday night
football. Oh, I'm hoping for a tie. At least if we get a tie, then
I'm hoping for a tie.
Gabe's always got one game that's got to be a tie. He's like, I want a tie.
Mark that down.
I want a tie.
I want it to be 0-0.
3-3.
0-0. They play
No, it should be 3-2.
Field goal.
They get a safety.
3-3, bro. 3-3.
No, 3-2. No, 2-2. They both get fucking safeties. Like,
Yeah.
all right, Monday Night Football, final game of the week. We got JoJo's New York Giants versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Never say that. Oh, no, I never say that's my team again. no, JoJo's New York Giants.
JoJo's favorite player, Daniel Jones. He's got a jersey.
You said versus who? You said Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tampa.
We even have to vote on this one? Do we have?
How did they get a Monday Night
know it's
Football
good.
game? That's the real question. How the hell did
New
the
York,
Giants?
You
What
mark
the
it.
fuck? The Giants
New
haven't
York,
been
that's
good
it.
since like fucking.
You got to think they're gonna put
It's
Tom
2012.
Brady versus the Giants, who were beat them in the playoffs. I guess that's why they market it.
That's
or
not
they
the
made it in
same.
prime time. I don't know.
That's-
It's the only thing I can think of. I'm going
Well,
Tampa.
you know that they paid a lot of money to get that screen time. They
I'm gonna
either
get the under.
really wanted Brady on screen. They paid a lot of money.
I'm going Tampa.
Tampa. Julian, you want to call the Giants upset?
yeah. Nah,
You
I'm
want
gonna
to
Tampa.
call the Giants upset?
He just wants me to lose so he can get ahead of me in the records.
Bro, I'm gonna need a extra dub. So I'm gonna. Need
I don't think we
you
really
to on this
separated,
one.
have we? Did we go? I mean, we didn't really go separate on a lot of picks.
We split on Pitt, Baltimore.
No Denver.
Indy game.
We split.
Indy, Detroit. JoJo went for New England. I don't know why, but okay. LAC. We split on a couple of these games, like maybe half of them.
A lot of them were, yeah, we split on the good ones. A lot of them they're just going to be blowouts. Yeah.
There's gonna be an upset or two in there. I'm telling you guys, there's gonna be an upset or two.
Maybe.
Be surprised. Happens every week.
Week. All right, then.
All right, so that's it with the picks.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all the picks.
All right, guys, it's a wrap. Another great episode 3.
Halloween
guys,
episode.
Stay tuned. You know what I mean? Happy Halloween. Everybody be safe. Again, congrats to the Dodgers. Congrats to Khabib. A lot of moves being made in the NFL. Hopefully, I win my picks this week. Luck to you guys. Have a great night, everybody.
Hey, yo,
Don't
you know
forget
what time it is?
What time is it?
Time.
Time, baby.
It's, don't forget to follow us on all our social medias. Don't forget to follow us on all our
social media. Real
real fans.
podcast. Let's go.
All right. See you guys next week.